Birmingham City Council has confirmed tonight it's reviewing its £120 million a year contract with the service company Capita. Now, since 2006, Capita has run the city's IT, call centre and billing services. The contract was extended to 2021. But tonight, the council say they don't know how much it would cost to break the Service Birmingham contract. Capita has been criticised for charging over £1 million to build the new Library of Birmingham website. But the council insists it is value for money. Our correspondent David Gregory Kumar has been investigating.
A modern library needs a website, but did Birmingham's cost a lot more than it needed to? Freedom of Information requests reveal that the new Library of Birmingham website cost £1.2 million. Provided by Capita, the running costs are £190,000 a year. Compare that to the website for another shiny new Midlands library, the Hive in Worcester. They say their new website cost them £10,000. And when we asked Shropshire Council about the ongoing costs of their library websites, they said it's probably about just over £1,000.
If you look at it, there's not much colour in it. It's simple, but it does the job. So it's about keeping those costs down.
And why do you want to keep the costs down? So why not just have a big flashy website?
Because we can't afford it, and that's honest. We can't afford to do that, and austerity has made us change the way we do things, and we've got to be smart about that.
Even if you compare Birmingham to another new UK super library, well, the costs are still high. Liverpool Council spent £50 million on their refurbished central library, but they told us the website cost them 4 hours of staff time updating pictures and tweaking text. Like Shropshire, it was all done in-house. Birmingham, though, outsourced the job to a company called Capita. And the library website is by no means the biggest contract Capita has with Birmingham Council. They have a multi-million-pound deal to run IT, call centre and billing services. It's called Capita Service Birmingham, but the details are secret and critics want them released.
From my point of view, I think way too much money is being spent on Capita Service Birmingham. I think it could be done at half the cost, and I think that contract could have been cancelled 18 months ago. But I could be wrong, and we don't know whether I'm right or wrong unless that contract is put in the public domain.
Capita told us they agreed publication of their contract back in October last year. The council say today it could be published by the end of February. And only then will it be possible to tell if the multi-million-pound Capita Service Birmingham contract is a good deal for the city. David Gregory Kumar, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
Well, I spoke to the Deputy Leader of Birmingham City Council, Ian Ward, earlier this afternoon. I asked him if the contract to design and run the website for the Library of Birmingham was put out to tender.
Well, the Service Birmingham contract, when that was tendered for, that was market tested. You need to remember this was not a contract that I set up. It was set up by the previous Conservative Liberal Democrat administration. Having said that, when I came into office, the first thing that we did with the Service Birmingham contract was to have it independently validated by an outside organisation called the Best Practice Group. Their report confirmed that the contract was value for money for the City Council and that there was value in continuing with it. We have to deliver more for less money, and that's why we are renegotiating our contract with Service Birmingham.
Where are you with that renegotiation of the contract?
Well, the core ICT contract costs £50 million. We have already said that we're going to reduce that by £20 million for the next financial year. That's built into the City Council's budget. We're negotiating with Service Birmingham for what that will actually mean physically with the delivery of ICT for the City Council, but there will be a £20 million reduction. At the same time, we are considering all the other possible options.
But the detail of the spend and the worth of the contract, the breakdown of that, it's not available to your council taxpayers, is it? When will you make that available?
The published accounts are available. The last year for which they're available are 12-13. The 13-14 numbers will come out with the published accounts for that year. The details of the contract that we have with Capita that forms the joint venture company Service Birmingham, many of those details are commercially sensitive and therefore they're not published. Having said all of that, we are going to publish the contract on the City Council's website, but as in the case of Barnet, who've already done a similar thing, all of the commercially sensitive information will be redacted.
When will that be published?
By the end of February.
The contract is due to run to 2021 with Capita. How much would it cost to terminate that contract?
There's no figure within the contract for termination, so we're involved in negotiations with Capita about what that figure would actually be.
So there was no figure put on an early termination of the contract when the contract was drawn up?
There was no number in the contract, no.
Is that usual?
Yes, we have an agreement about termination of the contract, and there are various conditions set around that, but it wouldn't be normal, I don't think, to put an actual number into the contract.
So there is an agreement in place about early termination?
Yes, there is.
And at what stage would you be able to terminate the contract?
We can terminate the contract at will. We have driven value out of this contract. What we have to be clear about now is what is the best way forward and the most cost-effective way forward for the council.
That was the Deputy Leader of Birmingham City Council, Ian Ward. A former head teacher